also outlined this to some degree in this writing guide that I mentioned. Is like, well, the first question might be, well, why write or why make an argument? And the answer is, well, if you're writing to figure out what you think, then you're going to use what you think to guide your action, and the consequence of that is going to be how your life turns out. So I'm dead serious about what I write because I know what the pathway is. It's like you don't communicate in a false manner, because if you do, you will warp the structure that guides your actions, and you will absolutely 100% suffer for that. I mean, one of the things I've learned as a clinical psychologist is that I've never seen anyone, it's really a terrifying thing, I've never seen anyone get away with anything, ever. The chickens always come home to roost. So, and sometimes it might, let's say you get away with something. It's like, yeah, you think so, man. You wait 5 years from now, 7 years from now, it'll come back.
Is that karma?
It's more like, yes, I think it's the same idea, but it's more like you don't have the power to manipulate reality. Like, you have the power to bring about reality in some sense, because you confront potential, and through your actions and your communicative intent, you turn potential into reality. But you don't have the power to bend reality without it snapping back at you.
You don't think so? So you don't think visionaries and influencers have the ability to bend reality?
No, I don't think they bend it. I think that they I mean, you can bring new things into being, but you can't get away with a falsehood. No, you can definitely bring new things into being.
You can't get away with a falsehood.
Yes, that's it.
Maybe, okay, makes sense.
And you can't get away with weak thinking either, because, I mean, any more than you can get away with improper action. It just doesn't work. So you're contending. It's why, I mean, one of the themes in my writing is the danger of falsehood. At every level, it's like, well, if you tell the truth to the degree that you can, or at least don't lie, I think that's rule 8. Then you have reality on your side. You got to decide, man. You want reality on your side, or do you want reality against you? I wouldn't recommend the whole reality against you thing, because you're not going to win. You're going to get flattened. And so I'm very careful with what I say, and I'm very careful with what I write. Like, if I write something down, it's not an opinion. I mean, obviously it is, because it's my thought.
Sure.
But I try to take those sentences and beat them to death. I'm trying only to leave on the paper things I cannot get under and flip over. So, and that's with literally it's every sentence.
Kitty, I don't know. I must have grabbed the cayenne pepper instead of the paprika. I couldn't let her eat it. Honestly, Kitty, it was a mistake.
Yeah, but eviscerating us in print is not a mistake.
Oh, Kevin, I didn't eviscerate anybody. I was making a point about the electorate.
By calling me a chauvinist? Yeah, me a cynical contrarian.
You're taking it out of context. The book isn't about any of you. You represent archetypes of American voters. Did you not understand that? Or, oh, I see. Did you just skim ahead to your own names? You know what? Defend yourself all you want, Kitty. Bottom line is we're hurt, too. And on top of all this Ryan situation. You know what? I don't give a rat's ass about Ryan. Oh, well, of course you don't, because you're only thinking about yourself. That's right. I'm thinking about myself. God, it was bad enough when you were in New York on the radio using us as fodder for your career. But at least then you were 3,000 miles away. Now it just feels like you're spying on us. Spying on you? You never asked our permission, Kitty. You just used us. Mom, calm down. God, I thought we were past this. I thought you changed. I hate this part of you.
Nora, that's enough. You know, the very thing that you like least about Kitty is the thing that I love the most about her. She is upfront, she is honest, she is opinionated, just like the rest of you. She invited you here tonight because she thought you'd make a good impression.
I see you haven't read the book.
No, I didn't go into her bag and read something she wasn't prepared for me to see.
Robert, I understand you're feeling protective, but this is between Kitty and us.
No, tonight is about Kitty and me. It's not about anybody else. All you needed to do was keep your opinions to yourself for 2 hours.
We tried.
Well, you didn't try hard enough. Look, I spend all my time dealing with spoiled, self-centered politicians, and tonight, I feel like I never left D.C.
Well, we aren't politicians, Robert. We're human beings, and we don't know how to hide our feelings and pretend everything is hunky-dory.
It's not pretending, it's being considerate.
I am considerate. I consider all my children all the time. And you don't know what it's like to feel that you've been betrayed by one of them.
No, I know how you feel. I know how all of you feel, because the minute you have a feeling, you start spewing with complete disregard for anybody else like a bunch of children. You're adults. Get a filter. Sorry, it's getting late.
Howdy, folks. Let me get some music on. We got Packer Jack coming on in about 20, 30 minutes. But I had to delay that 20 or 30 minutes because some random bullshit was posted about me. Now, in the last 5 minutes, I've gotten apologies and retractions and, oh, I didn't mean to do this. You know, I saw a comment on the Dense profile, and it said, Ben could just talk to us or email us. Why didn't you email me before you fucking posted that? You want me to email you now to clear up the air that you fucking posted online? I don't think so. And what was said was out now bullshit. I've never once talked about Sasha Dent publicly or privately. Why didn't you reach out to us? Why didn't you reach out to me before you posted it? Did you just believe what you heard and ran with it? Were you lied to? Did you lie? Did you misconstrue what was said? Because that's what Indy's saying. So who's the liar? I expect a lawsuit. I don't care if you retracted it. Okay, so if you had a screenshot, then Candy, you're the fucking liar. Someone's a liar here, and it's not me. Proof of what, Candy? You have what proof? Proof of fucking what? Nah, sick of this shit. Man-child? Nah. Get on YouTube, show your face. You don't. Go away, Doge Boner. So who's lying, Candy? Who's lying? Sasha or you? Everything was taken out of context and it's all fixed? Oh, yeah? Okay. I don't think so. Let this be a lesson to anybody who tries to post a lie about me or create a lie about me. I will come at you with every fucking legal recourse I have. If I felt like doing a legal recourse. You will not say a lie about me and get away with it. Let's do a poll. I'm not sending you a link, Indy. No, I'm not. I'm not sending Sasha a link either. Sasha could have reached out to me before she posted that. She didn't. You took a conversation we had where I said, didn't Jason Dent record K-Pro without her knowing it? That's what I asked you, and you said no, and I said, okay, show me that proof. That was the only conversation we had. So how did this fucking turn into a miscommunication? Candy, you pretended to read a text message from Ben. That's what Sasha's saying, Candy. Nah. I don't know what you people were used to, for the years in the chase before I got here, but I don't take that shit. I speak the truth to the best of my abilities, and when I fuck up, I admit it. It seems like almost next to none of you do that. Sasha has apologized. Jason has apologized. That's apologizing, actually. I take that back. I was wrong there. But they're saying that Candy's lying. Candy's saying that she's not. So someone needs to figure out what the fucking truth is and let me know. Because I'm done with the most of you. So I'm taking the first 20 minutes here to talk about this, and then we're moving right the fuck on. Because I got Packer Jack that wants to talk about his latest PowerPoint presentation, and the last one was phenomenal, and that's my concern right now. I don't like being lied about. I don't stand for it, and I'll fight back. If you're not used to getting someone to fight back, Candy, I'm sorry. Oh, you were taking out of context as you read a text to Sasha. One of you is lying. Clear as day. I'm gonna check in with Packer Jack, see what his schedule is, and then we're gonna roll off his schedule. If he's ready now, he's ready now. Okay, he's ready in 30:45. All right, damn it. Maybe if Ashley gets home, we'll do our Oak Island segment first. Nobody is lying. Just send me a link so we can fix this. Someone lied and made the rumor and told it to Ben. I mean, everyone's accusing everybody of lying here. I've talked about the Jason Dent K-Pro fiasco, and I did it with Paul Ammons. Remember that? When I was defending K-Pro? Trying to figure out, letting Paul speak so that I could understand what he was saying and then either poke holes in his statements or move on from true factual statements that he was saying. Did you not see that I was interviewing him, trying to get to the truth there? That's the only time I've talked about it publicly. This should be a non-issue. Why are we even discussing this? Why, Candy, are you telling Jason and Sasha anything about this? I didn't say shit about them that I haven't said already in public. Not one person told me the rumor, Sasha. This is the kind of shit that I heard at like West Yellowstone at a table full of other searchers. I've heard it there. I've heard it from other searchers. I've seen it in the chat. I couldn't even tell you the first person that's told me rumors about you and Jason, Sasha. Honestly, I've heard it from a lot of people. That doesn't make it true, but that's what I've heard it from. And guess what, folks? This is what is truly important. Gold found in the money pit. And we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Guys, they released the episode a day early. I saw the episode on Monday. I was tempted to like make predictions, even though like I'd already seen the episode, but I was like, you can't do that. So it was dope. They leaked it on fucking Monday. I saw it on Monday. And then we decided we were going to do a show the day after Oak Island airs because everybody needs a chance to catch up. Even then, still, Wednesdays aren't really a good chance to catch up. So what we're thinking for moving forward now is maybe Thursday Oak Island shows. I don't want to go over when Mike is doing his treasure, whatever it is. I'm not making fun of it. Treasure hunting show. It's, whatever new treasure hunt of the day is, that's what they're going to talk about. So I don't want to be over that. So we'll either go on before them or we'll go on after them. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And thank you for bringing it back to reality. Listen, my final thoughts. I got to be angry live. I'm not going to take it down. You got to all see it. Don't fuck with me ever. But I will say, Sasha took it down. Jason went in the chat quick and said that he's apologizing. Sasha apologized. Candy is saying it's a miscommunication. I feel like somebody's lying about this, but we're just gonna move on. I've said my piece. I don't need to get to the bottom of who's lying about me. I just need the people to know that was a lie. And it seems as if everybody, or I hope close to everybody understands that. So we can move on from it. That was therapeutic for me. I feel better even than I did 5 minutes ago. So we can all take a breath. I don't believe the story that I've been told about what happened here, but that's fine. I don't need it. I don't need it. Jason Sachev apologized. India is saying it's miscommunication. We can all just move forward. But I don't want to do Oak Island without Ashley. She has all the notes. She takes the notes during the episode, so I need her and her notes. So we can't get into Oak Island until she gets back from all the shenanigans she's up to. We can talk a little DB Cooper. We can try to all make nice here and talk in the chat and not fucking cause any more shit. And so we can just have it be wild card for the next 45 minutes. We can just talk about whatever. If you guys have ideas of the chase that you guys think I don't believe in or didn't take serious enough, bring it up to me now. Let's do it now. You know what I mean? Let's talk whatever about the chase. Chase chat was opened today. Did you guys know that? It's back up. I was going back through Chase chat today. I don't know about you guys, but I was going back through as many pages of Chase chat as I could, looking for anything that pointed at Jack Stoof, anything that pointed at Condor 2, anything that points out the character of Jack Stoof, even if you don't believe the character of Jack, whatever. But I wanted to see if there were things that were kind of predicted what happened, if you will. I found a few things that were oddball statements, but you know what? In a sea of 1,000 million people making oddball statements in this chase before it was found, who knows? You know what I mean? There's a lot of oddball statements. So, but I will say, I think there's a few comments out there on that forum that probably should use some scrutiny. I'm going to look more into it. I hope the website remains up so that I can keep looking into it. I don't want to talk about it just yet, specifically if it's involving other people's screen names and shit. But it's fair game with screen names. I just don't know what to think yet. I don't have enough context. I'm right back on the site. I was on it all the time back when I was a lurker. But I don't know what to think quite yet, so I still want to investigate that. Yeah, I hear you, Alan. I would address what you said, but then it would be obvious I'm repeating what you said, so I won't. That was on Facebook. It wasn't on the chat. As the chase turns, right? So, okay, so we can talk about if we have been watching Oak Island, maybe a little Oak Island preview to the fucking after show. I know some of you guys don't like the Oak Island topic. I hope you guys stick around for it. There's been new stuff that's happened that you don't have to catch up. It's not like you're obligated to go watch past episodes. Just watch the latest and they catch you up in them. And they found gold. They found tracings of gold on metal at the target depth of 90 feet at a certain area in the money pit. And they've ruled out natural cause. There shouldn't be metal with gold near what's purportedly a vault sealed with wood, concrete, and some thin sheet of metal. They found the money pit, guys. Or at least they found an off chamber of the money pit with actual treasure in it. So, and again, this is what I say to you guys, and I'm going to change the tunes up here a bit. This is what I say to you guys who say, oh, the show took too long. There's 9 seasons. Oh, my God, why is it taking them so long? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How many years did y'all put into the chase without finding the chest? You're telling me it's taking them too long? That's just like a little bit of a wake-up call, right? Come on. Let's not give the Oak Island guys shit when they can search for 3 months a year. Government restrictions and money, guys. They're spending millions every year on this. They're not getting paid millions. The network is. The network's making fucking money hand over fist. But Rick and Marty Lagina are not. They're getting sponsorship deals for their equipment. but they still have to pay salaries. They still have to pay salaries. They still have each one of those hard cans going in the ground is $1 million a piece. Like, it's expensive to do what they're doing. Want anything from Sonic? I haven't had Sonic in fucking years. I don't even know what they sell. A cheeseburger with some tater tots and a delicious Sonic colorful drink? I think that's good. Please and thank you. This song goes out to everybody involved in the drama today. I wish I was homeward bound. Home, when my thoughts escaping home, when my music's playing home, when my love lies waiting silently for me. I don't know why I dedicated that to all of us in the drama today, but I feel like it's a good song. And each town looks the same to me, the movies and the factories and every stranger's face. Raise your hand if you have moved more than 5 times in this country. Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. More than 6. Home, when my thoughts escaping home, when my music's playing. More than 7. When my love lies waiting silently for me. More than 10. Tonight I'll sing my songs again. I'll play the game and pretend. But all my words come back to me in shades more than 15. Of mediocrity, like emptiness and harmony. I need someone to comfort me. More than 20. Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. If you put your hand down earlier, you haven't lived enough life. When my music's playing home, when my love lies waiting silently for me. Federal prison absolutely counts. What a great song. I think Forrest was somewhere up there listening to that too. You know what else he listens to? Crazy ass music. Maybe a song called Wade in the Water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. He's gonna tub up the water. He's gonna tub up the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. He's gonna tub up the water. He's gonna tub up. Raise your hand if you've been homeless. See that host on resting rest. He's gonna tub up the water. Must be the children that know the land. Oh, he's gonna tub up the water. If you don't believe I've been a king, he's gonna tub up the water. Yeah, we got the banner back. In the water, in the water, children, wade in the water. He's gonna tub up the water. I need more water. Oh my God, that's warm Coke. Yeah! In the water, he's gonna tub up the water. He's gonna tub up the water. See that host on resting white. He's gonna tub up the water. It looks like the children of the Israelites. Truth, Davio, truth. He's gonna tub up the water. I looked over yonder, what did I see? Going to the World Series of Fenn. Fuck yeah, Adam. We're gonna go get drunk together, brother. You can find me and Adam at the bar taking shots, drinking Coors for Mr. Fenn himself. Wait, seriously, Ashley, you're not going to World Series of Fenn? The fuck? Yeah, she is. She's just fucking around. She's just fucking around. You can find me, Adam, and Ashley at the bar taking shots, drinking names. I said what I said. I pull the strings you never see, and you're the see, I have air filtration systems going. See how this flame is dancing? Don't worry, guys. This room airs out. I got you. Oh, see, she'll go hang with Adam. Fine, whatever gets you to World Series of Fenn. She'll be in disguise. That's DB Cooper. Babe, cut your hair. Dye it black. Put on glasses and hide your boobs. Where in the world is Ashley Power? At the bar with Adam and Ben getting fucking schnozberried up? First round on Adam. I think I told Cynthia I'm going to cover her bar tab for the entire night if she shows up and drinks with me. I'm just throwing that out into the public now, live. Can't take it back. Cynthia's bar tab. Just her. She can't buy other people drinks. Just her. Covering her tab for the night if she comes drinks with me. Get a job, Ben. Ashley, I have a job. Don't listen to Ashley. She's talking shit. We're obviously using all the YouTube money we make to pay for that. Duh. Margaritas are expensive. I don't give a shit. I owe that woman an apology face to face anyways. So I already told her I'm getting her fucking drinks. I'm just making it the tab for the night. Jason, you did miss something, brother. You can turn it back to minute 1 and just watch my clips and how they tell a story, and then watch me get all angry for a while. But then we all brought it back together, brother. Ashley has blue eyes. Impossible, I know, right? But you know what? Let me find an FBI document where they talked about 38 suspects with blue eyes. Criminal thief right here. Contacts. The people don't get it, Ashley. The people don't get it. Ash, what's your ETA on when you're home so we can do Oak Island? For the people, because the people want to know. They want to know about this gold and metal found at 90 feet near the money pit. And you got the notes because that's all I remember from the episode. I don't remember shit from Shinola. 20 minutes. All right, that works. Yeah, babe, we've already moved on. New segment. This is scripted, right? Yeah, Oak Island only. Why do you have to have me convince you of this? I've already told the people you have the notes. Obviously, you haven't been watching this stream much. Shit. My own woman doesn't even listen to me on this stream. How can I expect other people to? Oh, shit. You texted me if I wanted anything from Sonic like a minute ago. Like 10 minutes ago. Whoopsies. I got to get used to looking at my phone again when I'm streaming. Oh, you're driving safely without watching? Okay. All right. Like, you can't listen while you're driving, though. You know what I'm saying. Your meeting is done, so can you start? All right. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get the right music.
Hotline bringing a virus at the time as we drop bombs, stopping them bodies in bin liners. I'm running high from the killer. I'm running high from the killer. Hotline bringing a virus at the time as we drop bombs, stopping them bodies in bin liners.
Are you lying about me? I'm the only one here. You must be lying about me. Don't lie about me.
Hotline bringing a virus at the time as we drop bombs, stopping them bodies in bin liners. I'm running high from the killer.
There's a summary and wrap up and rewind for you. Nobody else asked me if they can get a do-over and starting this stream over again. Worst dancing ever. Well, I never claimed to be a dancer. So like I said, you can find me, Ashley, and Adam at the bar, drinking shots, taking names. I said it the better way the other time. I think the rich Chinese are buying up a lot of crypto and U.S. stocks and U.S. real estate. Yeah, for shizzles. All right, so we can change the song now. I drank all the water again. There was only like 2 sips in this one too. It sucks. I didn't even get like a thank you from JK for catching them up to what they missed. What's up with that? Hoverboards don't fly on water unless you got power. I have that fucking movie memorized. I love that movie so much. No laughs are gone when the airplane starts to uncontrol of the shape. No one's laughing at God when they see the See, I did it just for you, JK. No one laughs at God when the cops knock on their door and they say, "We got some bad news, sir." No one's laughing at God when there's a family fire or flood. But God could be funny at a cocktail party while listening to a good. Yeah, we don't block unless you like cross the serious red line. You might get timed out by a mod, and if a mod blocks you, you know, we'll back them. But then I'll review them and then unblock people. You always get chances. Just don't be dicks. I'm not saying you're being a dick, Bobby. I don't know why you're blocked. I physically myself have never blocked anybody. All I do is the unchecking of blocks. That's all I do. Love to do a YouTube roast? Oh my God, bro. I would so be down for a YouTube roast, but I haven't known you guys long enough to be able to partake in the roasting. It wouldn't be fair. I mean, unless you accept me, then I guess. I would allow you to roast me. I don't give a shit. That'd be funny. I love Forrest Gump too. Let's listen to some Forrest Gump soundtrack. Let's do that. That's a great fucking soundtrack. Oh shit, I gotta check. Oh shit, oh shit. Okay, good. I thought I missed Packer Jack or something. He's fine. God could be funny. Oh, do they have the actual Forrest Gump soundtrack though? Like, this is good, but like, I want the soundtrack, bro. Not just the original. There we go. There's the soundtrack. Various artists. Yeah. Well, maybe I should. Well, let's see.
No one's laughing at God. No one's laughing at God. We're all laughing with God.
Nah, we're gonna do some Forrest Gump soundtrack now. Hell yeah. It's hard to roast a joke. See, Five Leafs already had it. That's a perfect line. That's a great line. You get up there, you go, I would do this, but it's hard to roast a joke. So I'm just gonna leave. I mean, that'd be so good. I'd stand up. I would stand up and give you a round of applause. Manic Street Preachers, a design for life. Manic Street Preachers, what's that? I've never heard of that. Manic Street Preachers. Oh shit. A design for life. Alright, pimp. I'm gonna add to queue. So that should play next. Any other? This looks like it's a soft tune. It looks like it might be good. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm excited to hear what the music could be. And one of these times I am gonna get like some audio tuner thing or software where I can play the music. I don't know how to work it all. I'm not technologically savvy in that form, but for now, the music is the music. Enjoy. I get this Facebook up though, so I can see when Packer Jack is ready to go. Yep, Johnny here. I see you. We'll need link. Let's sneak in this design for life. Adam, you gonna take that? Hell yeah, Bavetta. Hell yeah. I can roll with this tune. Nope, there you go. You got a minute. I give everybody a minute when they make their request, but then I'll listen to the rest of the song off. Can I take the comment off? No. Looking forward to Packer Jack. That last prezzo was a plus. Hell yeah. Why would I take the fine? I'll take it off. Gosh. So feisty. Ooh, I got Packer Jack here right in time for... I was making a music change. How are you, man?
Great. How are you?
Awesome. Doing better.
I'm back in the Man Palace tonight.
You're back in the Man Palace. That's right.
Oh.
Everybody loved the presentation yesterday. Was that yesterday? It feels like ages ago.
It was yesterday.
It was very good.
I saw there were a couple people that I think if you're not ticking off a couple people, you're also not doing it right as well, too. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Completely agreed.
So are you excited for the game tonight? Or are you just girding yourself for Lamar Jackson?
Ah, shit. There's a football game tonight.
Yep. It's your Dolphins, brother.
Man, I got it.
Figured we'd want to be off the air by then.
I have to make sure I get some lineups in. I'm just reserving them now, but I got to reserve these bad boys before they sell out. Thank you for reminding me.
That's what I do. That's what we're here for, Ben. We help each other. We don't try to hurt each other.
All right, I'm an idiot. There's a reserve max entry button, and I'm not pressing it for some stupid reason. Hold on. It's one of those 20 max. It's $3 an entry. Showdown cap. $3 an entry. You can only enter 20 max. So like even if you're going against the guys with a ton of money, they can only enter $60 worth of lineups no matter what. So like it's kind of like a level playing field. It's like a poker tournament instead of playing a cash tournament where the guy could just keep going to the ATM and just eventually get you.
There we go.
All right, so those are reserved. I'm good. I'm ready.
Are you ready to rock and roll on this?
Auction website. Now, can I ask you right off the bat, do you have any slides? And Ravens, Alan's making Ravens. Let's just do real quick. Ravens win 37-13 is Alan's prediction. Packer Jack, what's your score prediction?
I would say 27-23 Ravens.
Is Tua playing?
He should be.
If Tua plays a full game, we will win 21-17.
Nice. I love that.
If Tua doesn't play, we'll lose 42-7. Are we good? All right, we're good.
The interesting thing is everybody's coming up with, well, I wonder what the over is for that game, because that might be something to bet.
I will say 21-17 doesn't sound too realistic, especially if Tua's playing well. It's more like a 35-28 kind of game. I think the over is a great bet. It really is. If Tua's playing,
that's all I would do. I don't know if I'd do anything except the over on that game, but
Ghost Answer says go Broncos. So from there, auction website. So my question is there ever an overlap with the graphs we were doing yesterday? Because just off my gut, and we talked about this a little bit offline, it was opening things for me where I was like, wait a second, this post happened at this. Oh my God. And so like, is there any of that too? Or are we just specifically going auction right now?
No, I start off with that graph and then I work my way back to it. So you'll be pleasantly surprised to see that we do that.
Oh, that's even better. That's even better. I can't wait.
Now, for anybody that doesn't know what the hell we're talking about, yesterday, Ben did a great DB Cooper show and I snuck in the middle hour and did a impromptu, highly detailed presentation of 21 slides that had a analysis and a histograph of the 876 Condor 2 posts. So if you don't know what we're talking about, that's what Ben's referring to. And so at the end of it, I just said, well, I'm still interested in the auction website and what's going on with that. If you guys like this, I'll throw something together for that. And we got a lot of great feedback. So this has been a nice week for me to have some time to relax my brain from business. And so I punched that out today, and that's where we're at right now.
Love it.
So this is the auction website, hoax, diversion, alibi, or truly selling the chest. And again, I'm not a full screen savant on StreamYard, so we'll kind of do this the same way we did yesterday, except I use much larger text, and we'll be able to run through this. For those of you that totally believe 100% the auction website is a hoax, I'm not here to try to change your mind. I'm not here to make you angry. I'm not here to, unless you want to get angry. If you like to get outraged, then you will. But otherwise, you're not going to be happy. So my thought process is I don't believe it was a hoax. I think Ben may share that opinion as well, too. And he can talk a little bit about the investment he made to dig into it and look into it as we go through this. So that's what this is. And what I want to do tonight is just do a look back and look at what we talked about yesterday, as Ben said, so we can look at that frequency histogram of the Condor 2 Reddit posts and Chase-related posting. So we can just spend a couple minutes for those of you that didn't see that yesterday and explain it, but move on very quickly from that. And then when was it that forestfenntreasure.com relaunched as an auction site? We all know that it was a site and there were quotes and research on there. Jack himself even said he'd gone to that website and looked up information before it obviously got turned over to a different owner of the domain and turned into the auction website. And we'll talk about when that happened, and Ben may even have more detail on that than I do. And then a detailed look back and read through of the timeline and text from the auction website. So we are going to get into it because so many people say this is a hoax. We're gonna run through a swath of full text slides with some highlights and just read through them try to do it quickly so we're not on for a long time like yesterday. Try to do it like we did it with the same expedition as yesterday, but really go through it so that you can kind of get an understanding why Ben and I might have a different opinion than you do of the auction website. Obviously want to thank K-Pro Mike again for the research that I had yesterday. Chasing Indy was someone who I had talked a lot about the auction website and looked into that as well too. So just Ben has done a lot on this, but there's more people that have done research into this than just us, and I know many of you have as well too. So
lots of people have looked at. I mean, and a lot of people changed their minds on it and thought it was a hoax, and then didn't think it was a hoax, or thought it was real, and then have decided it's a hoax for whatever reason. So a lot of people are still. I think the community is very 50-50 on this. I think a lot of folks who still buy into this theory just don't say it out loud because the hoax crowd's pretty loud.
Right. So, and then talk about comparing the auction site post timeline that I shared yesterday with the Condor 2. When were these actual site posts on this auction site? After we go through what the content is, we'll then go back to the histograph and map them in a beautiful color to look at that. And then were there similarities about the auction website and the Condor 2 going dark after the sex and death and the no going back that we talked about yesterday? So I enlarged the end of this histograph. And again, I know it's too small for some of you to see, but the bottom horizontal bar is months, and it basically starts with the Condor 2's first post on May 20th of 2018, goes all the way through June 7th of 2020. So we wanted to look at the frequency and the number of posts. Again, either one of those things might be meaningless. They might both together be meaningless. You'd have to look at what the content is. If there's a lot of posts on one day, you'd also have to look at what the posts are if there's a lot of frequent posting. Just as a quick recap, that first couple months and into the early stages of 2019, there were a lot of Condor 2 Reddit posts, but they were under a different Reddit sub called Churning. And that's when Jack, and back going to 2014, all the way up into the beginning of 2019, was really into credit cards. How do you get points? How do you get free trips, free hotel stays? I know a lot of people look down on him upon that. I just see him as being an opportunist. I don't think he did anything illegal. I think he was trying to game the system. And he had a lot of those posts going all the way through 2018. So you see a lot of infrequency there starting, and that third month is May. And you start to see posts about the chase. So these markations on this timeline that are in blue were only chase-related posts on the Forrest Fenn thread. Interestingly enough, as Jack ramps up into the chase in the beginning of 2019, he completely abandons by February of 2019 churning. And those posts are no longer being made. So what I did is I then enlarged the end of this, that's really that red line is really the beginning of February. And Ben, we know that the auction website, the domain was purchased, and that took place in February. Can you confirm that, Ben, with your research on when that domain name was taken over by someone new for that auction website to go up?
The auction, it went dark for a few months in the winter. So yeah, it just went dark. So it changed hosting companies and went dark actually right around December.
Right.
And then pops back up again in February 2020.
Right. And that's where I had it, just starting with February. That first
and then it closes June 22nd.
Correct. So that first post doesn't have a date on it. The other ones do. And actually in the Wayback Machine of that website, and that link's available where you can find it in a bunch of places. If you want to get to it, Ben and I can get it to you. But so it's sometime in February.
Okay. So what I'm not also relaying well here is it's murky. There's almost a hint that this website was ready to go in August of 2019 even, but it's strange. The reason I haven't come out with any of it is because I still haven't made sense of it with experts that I've shown it to, experts being like people who do this for a living with websites and coding. And it's a resounding same opinion for the same couple of people of, it seems like someone's just covering their tracks. And I didn't tell them what I was searching, what I was looking into. I just wanted them to look at this website's history, tell me what you think. And it's from from the end of summer to fall 2019, all the way to February 2020, there's some dark period of history on this website.
Right. I just have my one screen, so I'm looking down at my phone on comments as well too. I'm trying to jump in on myself here, so I know a bunch of you are probably going, "This is going to drive you nuts," because it's driving me nuts right now. And I know I wish we could have 4 or 5 more people on, and maybe we can bring some people on afterwards.
Well, Bavetta is somebody I've really wanted to have on.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can have him on today. Maybe let's regurgitate this. I want Bavetta to have like a day or two of research. When this guy comes up with a day or two of research, it'll be fascinating. What I think we should do is, before we move, I think Bavetta joining maybe you and me, maybe on like a private quick Zoom before we go live or something like that, to see what his results are, and then just show everyone it, because he's really good at this shit, and I really want to get you two thinking together, honestly, and even remove myself, because you two together, holy crap, we might get to the bottom of this.
All right, so if you pull up the historical version of the website, it actually has the June 9th post, which is the last post before, as Ben said, it goes away. And then the first post, which was the launch of the auction website, doesn't actually have a date associated with it. The rest of the posts all have a date associated with it. Mm-hmm. So what I wanted to do is just kind of run through, and I know this is a big word salad here, and I'm not going to try to bore you by reading through everything, but to make the point, you really do have to digest all this information, almost like I went through all 876 Condor posts. You can't just look at a page and say, oh, it's a hoax, and then flip off and think you've really done full research on this. So I read through every single word, in this website, and it starts here in February, and it states that the chest has already been found in late August 19. So this auction website is saying that the chest was found in August 19, and that after consultation with several attorneys, led them to believe that the best course of action would be to sell the location information rather than the actual chest and its content. That was kind of my thought. Like, I do stuff on eBay. I'm Jack Factor on eBay. I have a 100% rating. I've sold over 500 things. I've sold stuff at auction houses. If I can use my network and sell something and not have to pay the commissions, and maybe still have to pay an attorney, but I don't have to pay an auction house, and I can flip something relatively quickly, and I'm actually not selling the chest itself and its contents, I'm selling the location through an escrow account, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it really is.
If someone could pull that off, they don't have to worry about the tax issue. Well, they have to worry about the tax issue in a different way, but they really are extricating themselves from all the minutia that the Condor 2 had been talking about on it being an S show and Forrest didn't think of everything in taxes. So again, I know I'm leading the witness.
Before I forget, but when we end this particular slide, someone remind me, or you remind me, Packer Jack, I do have one argument that doesn't make sense with the way the escrow works, but I want you to say the whole thing first. Great.
Well, you got it. So let's continue on. Well, it's still within the borders of the type of land. So they're basically saying they moved it, but it's still within the borders of the type of land. If we're to believe it's Yellowstone, then they're saying it's in Yellowstone, but we did something funky with it.
It's still in Yellowstone, but moved somewhere else in Yellowstone.
Right. And if we accept your bid, you'll be required to provide the funds through an escrow service or mutually agreed upon third party to facilitate the transaction. I think people read that first post and went, oh, this is a hoax. This is a hoax. What'll come up, and I think, Ben, you'll agree, really shows that I don't think this was a hoax. But again, let's wait for that information on future slides. And then the third paragraph, they wanted a minimum bid of $2 million. And bidding was going to end on August 31st. If they didn't have it by August 31st, they were going to either do another chase. I'm not going to get into all that. If you want to go and look at what they were going to do if it didn't sell, I just want to focus on what they were going to do if it did sell. And then they say to protect, again, I think this leads into what I just said earlier. They're trying to extricate themselves from having to deal with anything on the physicality of the chest, taxes, ownership, national park service, whatever, and push this off onto whoever the buyer of the location is. So that last highlighted sentence is to protect yourself from prosecution, litigation, or loss of any kind would be entirely your own responsibility and risk starting at the moment you take possession. So now we have dates to these posts. The next one is March 4th, and they start doing Q&A. Someone asks the question, how can we trust you? And they say, well, you shouldn't trust us based on what we claim. If you want to make a bid, you can go ahead anytime without having to prove that you have the funds available. Only when the bidding list is complete will we go from the top to the bottom with the highest bid process first, which basically they're saying anybody can throw a number out there, then we're going to verify it and see if you actually have the money or not. We will contact you to make an appointment where we'll bring one item you will recognize from the book as well as some recent pictures. We will bring legal representation, and so should you, to represent yourself in the most effective way. Only if your attorney has familiarized him or herself with the facts and advises you to proceed further should you make the next move. We have been advised by our own lawyers not to present any evidence of the chest or its contents publicly, not to feed any possible litigation with anything tangible to maintain deniability under either an agreement with the IRS has been made or it has been established that an agreement is not necessary. Mr. Fenn has not been contacted yet, as we think an auction could result in a more favorable outcome than the other option. Same day. In what state did you find the treasure, and what is Where Warm Water is Halt in Home of Brown? Hi, Jason. Please refer to the text above. We have explained that, so on and so forth. My point here of highlighting, we always start to sweat, however, when Mr. Preston enters the room. As you read through this auction website, whether you believe it's a hoax or not, it is someone or a group of people that are highly familiar with the chase. This is not, you know, the Nigerian prince scam and somebody who's never read The Thrill of the Chase. As you read more and more through this, and you'll see even they purposely misspell the word knowledge later and leave the D out. Who's ever doing this, if it's a hoax, is highly in tune with what's going on with the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt. It's not someone from the outside doing the Nigerian prince scam, in my opinion. If it's a scam, it's being done by someone who has invested a lot of time and effort into the chase. You'll see that as we go through this. Then on March 6th, 2 days later, on Mysterious Writings, Forrest Fenn was quoted yesterday and said the treasure chest is still where we hid it 10 years ago. For me, it's just too much of a coincidence. Forrest saying that it's just days after you claim you found it. Apparently, Forrest does indeed know about your claim, but either doesn't believe you or hasn't verified that the treasure is still there.
Now, here's something I want to interject because
yeah, go ahead.
K-Pro has stated this as unequivocal fact that Forrest railed hard on her to rail hard against the auction website on June 22nd. So that does mean Fenn at one point is aware of this auction website.
Yeah, and June 22nd, right? June 22nd.
At the very least, on June 22nd, he knew about it. I'm going to assume he knew about it maybe before.
Right. And we can talk about that if we have time tonight or in the next thing, because, well, again, I want to get through this, but I'm not going to jump in and do that. So the answer is, to be honest, I can't give you an answer to that question. We never contacted Mr. Fenn as a response to our attorney's recommendation not to disclose any physical item or any verifiable knowledge to anyone at this time. The only way for Mr. Fenn to know would be if he or someone else on his behalf actually went to the location. As the treasure has been moved, he would have known it is not there. That still wouldn't confirm our claim to have found it, as a third party theoretically could have been involved. That is not the case, as we know, but there would be no way for you to know. I assume his statement was rather taken in a certain context than to be intentionally misleading. At the end of the day, the treasure was where he said it was. Well, sort of. That sounded kind of Jackie Condor 2-ish to me, but I'll let you guys decide that. Then another 3 days go by. It's March 9th. I believe the admin, maybe there is a helper with a website, but I believe the admin and the finders could still be just one person as Jack. Could be a group of people, but you'll notice as the posts continue, there's a lot of I. The finder is saying I. So there's two personas. There's the person that's responding as the finder or representing the finder group, and then there's an admin who adds remarks. And on March 9th, the admin makes a remark. As the admin running this website on behalf of the finders, I would like to point out that the security risk for the finders will increase with time, and they're not prepared to accept this risk. It is not only the value of the treasure, but the rising degree of moral and or legal entitlement some of the treasure hunters seem to feel based on their invested time, money, and effort. As you are aware, the finders have announced their intention to hide the treasure again if they can't sell it until August. What I am actually allowed to say is that the finders are very keen that the new hiding spot, if it becomes a path to go, will be accessible year-round without undue risk of hypothermia during winter months. The information on the spot is 5,000 feet below elevation, so on and so forth. And then this final paragraph that I highlighted. I also like to point out that the only individuals knowing the current location of the treasure are the finders. I personally have no idea at all, while the legal team has only knowledge about the state and the type of land it resides in order to do their work. That might even be correct, as I am only informed on a need-to-know basis. March 9th, questions by the finder. Why did you move the treasure to a different location and not take it home with you? There is several reasons. Of course, correct grammar would be there are several reasons. I think this is intentional. I believe there's a lot of misdirection here. I don't believe this is a reason to say, aha, it's not Jack. For me personally, and you may disagree, I believe there are just
I also think there could be two people who were writing on this thing.
And there could. But what cracks me up is then the complexity of the two sentences after that. So there is several reasons. The most relevant we want to make up. The problem with whatever we do or even omit is the pending risk of lawsuit and or attorney's fees nobody is reimbursing. So, I mean, this is not a dumb person.
Right.
You know,
or they're copying and pasting literally what their lawyers typed out for them.
Right.
Maybe. Like on it's either indicative of actual legal representation that's helping you, because nobody talks like this, or yes, you have masterful grasp of the English language in this bottom part here.
Yeah, but I think what we'll see a transition, Ben, as we go through these slides, where whoever the finder is starts to have that itch to take over, to prove they're a really smart person, and to pick questions that they answer, because they're probably getting a ton of questions right on this website. And just why would they select certain questions to engage in intellectual sparring? So just keep thinking about that as we run through these. Next day, would you accept Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency in order to protect the privacy of the seller? I don't know. Do we know anybody that was into cryptocurrency? Maybe Jack Stoof. I have no idea. Guess I heard he was.
There's a rumor.
Right. So listen to this answer. That was an interesting question, and accept our apology for taking our time to reply. First of all, you must realize cryptocurrencies are not anonymous. Actually, the opposite is true. All transactions are forever visible in something called the blockchain. This makes it an increasingly transparent ledger as technology advances. So the answer is probably a yes, but under the assumptions that the payment starts in the end of the jurisdiction where the cryptocurrency in question is not illegal. Well, somebody knows a lot about that. That's a pretty educated group of 3 sentences right there. And then, of course, problem here is to establish jurisdiction with any degree of certainty, and then they misspell the word pursue, putting E where a U should be, almost as if you were going to sign a map for Copper Dan and put an E in front of a U. I don't know. That just struck me as kind of funny.
I was about to say the same exact thing. Or misspelling persistent.
Right. Right. So now we skip to another couple days. Are you running a scam, providing a wrong solve and having nothing in return for the money you are asking for? Even if the solve was right and you said yourself that the chest is not at the original location, you could just disappear with the money. And this is, I think, a brilliant answer to why I don't believe this is a scam, but you guys can disagree. Let me clarify that we will only receive the funds you provide after you have the treasure physically in your hands. Until that happens, the funds will remain in an escrow account or with an agreed upon third party. So they're saying, we'll even agree, if we agree with you on a third party that you choose or it's different, we will do that, like a notary public or another law firm. Only if you and any expert for evaluation you might bring with you are happy, we would be able to receive your money. The basic function of an escrow service is to protect both parties. There is nothing to gain for us unless we can deliver on our promise. And then we've been contacted by quite a few concerned people around this topic, and sadly our website analytics do confirm that only a minority of readers spend enough time on the page to fathom and digest the information we have given. To those with a vicious attitude towards us, please find out for yourself if you would have preferred us not making the announcement and causing you to search for something already long gone. Boy, that's just a little bit of a Jack twist of the knife to me. To me, that's that personality coming through of adding that. But again, I'm leading my own witness myself, so I get it if you guys are like, dude.
It matches the demeanor he had when you showed that change in his Reddit posting styles. The only question I have here, and I don't want to make too much time either, what's to stop a millionaire from just giving them the funds to put in escrow to go see where it is and then go, no, that's not the real chest. I'm taking my money back. Now he knows where you know what I mean? Now he knows the general vicinity. There's a lot you could learn from just.
They do talk about, they do mention that later. That is addressed on the website. I don't know if I have it in here or not, but it is addressed where they basically say, I guess we're taking that risk, but if we have attorneys and everything involved, they're basically saying, boy, we can't imagine that happening because we're going to vet everything and make sure that doesn't happen. But they do make a comment like, I suppose that could happen to us. Like somebody could take advantage of us too.
Right.
So this is interesting. We then go for, so that last post was March 12th, then we skip all the way to March 25th. So a pretty big gap there. Why did you not return the bracelet to Forrest? He wants it back. Do you know that? And the answer is the bracelet, assuming it is part of the treasure for the sake of the argument, meaning we neither confirm or deny it being part of it, is really just an instrument to be used to determine the status of the treasure. Any other part recognizable by Mr. Fenn would equally be useful to determine the status. We explained earlier why we decided against it. We have to admit, however, that when we were experiencing the first wave of excitement and before we got better advice, we actually decided to visit Mr. Fenn with an item from the chest. Some basic recon of the area, and not very surprising to us considering the obsession many of the searchers displayed in their habits, we found several trail cams hidden at tactically valuable locations. That means whoever meets Mr. Fenn cannot remain anonymous. Anybody with the ability to run a license plate can track the holder, and that wouldn't be good news. You are correct to assume that neither of us did this investigation in person. That was our first red flag, and we found more on the way to justify our behavior. Neither of us means two or more, but all of a sudden, let's go back and think about Jack Stoof, April 2019. When we were experiencing the first wave of excitement and before we got better advice, we actually decided to visit Mr. Fenn with an item from the chest. Ben, it wasn't until you and K-Pro came out in July or August of this year and said, we've got information that there was a trip to Santa Fe.
Right. Those two are like, whoa.
So, and then it basically saying we saw trail cams around his property and skedaddled out of there, drove out, never got out of our cars, never went in to show him the item. Really interesting post there. 2 more days go by. Another question. Forrest said earlier this month that the treasure chest is where he left it 10 years ago. That means he has some way of knowing, and you are not telling the truth. Hi, Sarah. You don't have to take my word for it, but maybe Forrest Fenn's word will suffice. Oh, Ben, I'm cracking up because that's very similar to a response that Jack Stoof sent me after the chase was over when I was asking him something. Well, you don't have to, maybe if you don't trust me, maybe you should at least trust Forrest. So I thought that was an interesting response. Please refer to what he said in 2015. You might argue that he may have changed his arrangement, but please note that he also said that he never went back. Look at the video at this time frame. A video is then posted underneath this, a YouTube video of Forrest that's, I believe, like 1 hour and 45 minutes. And it's exactly marked to look at it between minutes 9 and 9:42. A Nigerian prince scam would not have this knowledge of the chase. Somebody actually watched Forrest on an 1 hour and 45 minute video and knew what exact time frame in under a minute to direct Sarah to answer her question. Again, that tells me this is someone highly vested, who is highly vested in the chase, did a ton of research, watched all the videos, did all those things. Still doesn't mean it's not a hoax, but I'm starting to wonder why someone who is this vested in the chase would be trying to pull off something like that.
Does Forrest Fenn have trail cams at his property?
Well, all I can tell you is there's a couple of questions. I think there's people that would be able to tell us that right away. I think K-Pro might be able to tell us. I'm sure he's got surveillance after what had been going on.
I would have had to imagine he does. It doesn't seem that outlandish.
I mean, the guy's got potentially millions of artifacts in his home. He's got to have security. He's got to have cameras.
I tried to break into his place multiple times. But I will say to what Adam was saying earlier is to expect that with no proof of chest ownership is crazy to me. Again, Your money is going in escrow, Adam, that your own lawyers have chose. There's no risk. You get your money back when it's bullshit.
And we'll use a different agreed upon third party escrow if you want.
Right.
We don't have to use ours. That to me was, this is not a hoax. This is not you're putting $1 million and it disappears. They're even saying if you're going to use the law firm of somebody that's worldwide known law firm, and you're going to use them and we can agree upon them, we'll go ahead and use them. To me, I think that just says it all right there. And I don't think we need to be redundant with talking about that, but I think that debunks you're going to put $2 million in an escrow account, it's going to disappear. You get to pick the escrow account as the buyer. Now we go from the 27th of March to April 11th. There's an administrative update. Unfortunately, more than half of the emails we're receiving are of an abusive nature. I kind of laugh when I read that, because I can imagine how many ticked off, just inquisitive searchers, people are like, this is a hoax, this is BS. I was laughing that they feel like the victims here when they're doing this, that they're getting a lot of gruff from people. So I just kind of laughed about that, because I think a lot of hardcore searcher people were wanting to know what the hell was going on and were sending inquiries. And so this person says, I'd like to emphasize that it would be pointless for me to forward those to our finders. Please accept that I will be the only person who will ever see them. The majority of those emails also claim to know where the treasure location is, which is entertaining. Again, that type of response leads me to believe that the admin update, the admin and the finder group is all jack. That's just my personal opinion. Please don't let your ego rush you into the mountains while there is still snow and adverse weather to be respected. If you believe you know something, please be patient and do not risk your life. Also, make sure that you respect the COVID-19 rules in place at the time of your endeavor.
Sounds like the Condor 2 talking on Reddit at the same time.
You got it. I was going to bring it up, but after October, Condor 2 starts to all of a sudden be concerned about people's safety. And again, I do think even if you have a very low ESC on your disc profile, and those of you that know what the disc is know what I mean, you still have to be a human being and say, God, I don't want anybody to go out there and die because I'm playing a game where I'm the winner, but I'm trying to figure out how I can make the most money out of it. So it's going to suck if somebody goes out there and gets hurt. So for the first time in October, I start posting 3, 4, 5 posts, and now we see this in April from the auction website. Hey, be safe out there. It's not the time to be out there in dangerous circumstances. Sorry. So we were here, and again, I apologize if this is little. I tried to enlarge the other slides. This is one I forgot to do. So this is April 15th, 2020. So we just moved from a post. The last post was April 11th. Now the website posts on April 15th, 2020. Question, only the finder should know the weight of the biggest nugget in the treasure chest. Could you give that number, as only Forrest knows it, to verify your claim? Thank you for your input, Andy, in order to try to resolve the issue of proof. To be honest, we don't know if Forrest Fenn ever made a note of the weight of individual items. Unfortunately, even if he did, that won't help either. As we explained earlier, for legal reasons, we require plausible deniability. The only reason to publish the weight of the nugget would be so Forrest Fenn could verify our claim publicly. That would not help with deniability. Also, we do not believe that it would be possible to figure out the weight of the nugget comparing coin size with nugget size. We have no knowledge. And Ben, look at how the word knowledge is spelled.
Mm-hmm. It's cute.
Yeah. We have no knowledge of all relevant pictures published online, and therefore we don't think this method would be convincing beyond reasonable doubt. It would be much easier to just tell Forrest Fenn privately the location where we found the treasure or present a solve to the poem. Nobody knows that except those who made it to the location. It has been a while since August 2019, and there might have been others, which actually means that you might have discovered a flaw in the theory that knowing the location means having the treasure. Your suggestion is therefore worth mentioning, as it discovers that the issue is more complicated than most searchers initially assumed. Boy, that's Jack. To me, just reading all of Jack's emails and that's a Jack Stoof authored sentence. Again, I may be biased. I may have gone over the edge on confirmation bias on this, but that's what I'm. And this is when I talked about the questions. The questions that are being picked now to answer. Let me show you how smart I am, even though I'm trying to be the auction website guy. So he picks a question when someone asks him about Schrodinger's cat teaser in your marketing approach. So that means your claim is both true and untrue until the box is open. Wouldn't it be wise for an interested party to ensure that the existence of millions of dollars purchase money remains both true and untrue right up until the time the chest is open? Would you accept that they could bring, say, a $100 bill to the meeting where you bring a single item from the chest? And now the person proves that they know they know Schrodinger's first name.
Right.
And they respond brilliantly, in a very brilliant way, that Erwin Schrödinger didn't say that the cat is both dead and alive. He rather pointed out that quantum theory and the real world are two different and not necessarily compatible realms. Widespread misinterpretation of his thought experiment by pseudoscientists made the acceptance of quantum theory less popular with no avail. Comparing a Benjamin with an item from the chest is also not helpful, but it points out beautifully that having the bracelet doesn't mean having the chest, like having a Benjamin doesn't mean you owe the Fed. Isn't it funny that if the finder would disappear with the chest, even Forrest Fenn would be unable to prove that he ever hid it? What would you believe is true if the finder would get his solve approved by Mr. Fenn, but states that there was no treasure? Would you believe there was no treasure, or would you believe more that one party made it to the location? At the end of the day, whatever you think is true will be true for you, like with everything else in life. Please also note that the way I referred to the finder was made intentionally to uphold the argument, even if you disagree with the claim.
It's just...
Oh. Man, I wanted to put on I wish I had a smoking jacket, an ascot, and a pipe while I read that. Holy cow.
I need a bong rip after that.
Now we go to April 22nd, 2020. Now we are going to be so brilliant that someone will have asked a question and we won't post it, but our answer will be, we feel the following video segment might provide an answer to some of you without revealing the question or to tip off the inquirer.
That's so stupid.
And there's a movie about wanderlust that's attached here. I started watching it. It says video segment. It was like an hour and 43-minute full movie, so I don't know if the link changed over time, but I was like, it was about forgery paintings and something of that ilk. Maybe we'll have Bavetta watch that for an hour and 43 minutes, so you and I don't have to. All right, April 28th, 2020. So we were at April 22nd. Now we shift another 6 days forward. You will have to provide proof of some kind before anyone will bite, even if it's one piece from the chest. Sounds interesting, Terry. Will any piece from the chest be sufficient? My understanding is that even for Mr. Fenn, one piece will do. On the other hand, could anyone buy the chest and together with our story, or at least the solve, be able to present himself to Mr. Fenn as the finder? This in turn shall show that nothing and nobody could ever represent him or herself as the real finder. Even we could have bought the treasure from a third party to flip it for more cash. So even presenting the whole treasure has its limitations. I can, however, assure you that the item we have chosen for initial verification is unique and leaves little room for speculation that might not be part of the original treasure. The buyer will have the safety net of the escrow service and her own experts and appraiser before we would be entitled to even receive a dime. If the appraiser would advise against the purchase, the buyer would still have the opportunity not to give the go-ahead. I admit that would, Ben, this is what we were talking about before. I actually did put this in here. I admit that would leave us in a particular situation regarding the location being revealed and then the person reneging. That is a risk we have decided to accept, but we have the faith of the treasure speaking for itself. Just remember what Forrest Fenn said about this very moment. So that was in there. You were prescient. You were ahead of your time, Ben. Bringing that up. May 5th, 2020 is when there's the important update. Over the weekend, we received an offer for the treasure which exceeds all previous offers by a significant margin. The interested party deposited the funds already with a law firm on Monday. Part of the agreement with the buyer is another week of leeway for any other potential buyer to come forward after today's announcement. This is a very nice way of saying, hey, we've got an accepted potential offer, but if any of you muckalucks out there want to step up to the plate before the 13th, you still got a shot at it. Otherwise, we're closing it out. If we're to believe any of this is true and any of this is real. So back to this, we understand that a lot of emotions are involved with the issue, and another week might also give those a chance who don't have the funds, but would be able to cooperate with others to make a group offer. Those parties have time until Wednesday. If no other confirmed offers have been made until then, we will go ahead with the retrieval of the treasure at the most convenient time for the buyer. We would also like to point out that even if the treasure is not recovered immediately due to a variety of possible circumstances, we are still committed to the contract and cannot accept any more offers after next Wednesday, May 15th, 2020. Unfortunately, will the agreement prevent us from releasing any details of the search for the treasure, which is very unfortunate? I don't need, that sentence doesn't make sense, but anyway. We therefore have a vested interest in a last-minute buyer who would offer us this chance. However, we cannot pass up this opportunity as it seems very generous. On the other hand, comparing the treasure with art, any price seems reasonable, and maybe we would be better off having it on display in a museum, waiting for the value to rise. However, do we have not much trust in institutions, and the recent events in certain states don't help strengthen our confidence in the legal system. So that is the 5th, and then there is not another post until what I call the final post, even though there was a post. It's not the final post. There was a post on June 9th. So this, I was erroneous on that. I believe since I'm here, I can just delete that. So let me do that. So on May 15th, somebody asks, are offers still being accepted? And the answer is, I'm sorry, Scott. No offers are being accepted anymore as the ownership has been transferred. Scott, I wonder if we know anybody in the chase named Scott who's been of high profile late. Hot Tiger. Anyway, I'm sorry, Scott. No offers are accepted anymore as the ownership has been transferred to the buyer. As you mentioned it, we had a Zoom Skype meeting held between legal teams and interested parties almost daily for quite some time. Not we, I am glad that this is over now. Remark, at this time, we cannot confirm or deny the removal of the treasure from its most recent location in order to minimize the success of possible tracing activity. At some random point in time in the future, we will officially announce the completion of the task. It may or may not be done at the time you read these lines. Not sure how to address the emotional impact on the end of the chase might have on somebody, but it is safe to say that there will always be some kind of chase in one's life to pursue for the better. There will always be a reason to roam the mountains and follow the rivers, be it metaphorically or literally. T.E. Lawrence once said, nothing is written, and Forrest Fenn would probably remind us that the mountains are still there. The final post then on June 9th, 2020, it does say, and I actually clipped this, so this is actual clip from the website. It says, leave us a note as we'll be around. And as we know, 2 weeks later, the website was gone. But leave us a note, we'll be around. And yet, as Ben researched, it was shut down. There was also talk in this post about potentially selling the domain name. One can assume to protect anonymity and any other issues like lawsuits. That was shut down. So Ben, here's what you asked for. Let's take a look at the auction website postings with the Condor 2 postings. And this freaked the crap out of me today, I have to admit, because that red line is really just when we think the website went up, not when we actually have dates of posts. All of the dates of posts are on dates that fit in but do not overlap with any Condor 2 post. I mean, if there's a psychology that someone spends time online at night or whatever, and one night I'm going to do it on Reddit and one night I'm going to do it on my auction website, that's a theory. I could never prove that, but this just kind of freaked me out when I looked at when these posts took place.
That is rather consistent. It is in each and every gap. There's never.
So this gets even weirder. This gets even freaking weirder. So let's look at this. So the first Q&A, and I'm sorry if this is too small and you can't see it. So I went from the bottom up on the first smaller black text. First Q&A 3.4, second Q&A 3.6, 3.9, 3.10, 3.12. Then again,
you know what this tells me? Hold on, revelation. You know what this tells me? He needed all day to do this on these updates, hypothetically. I bet you the questions are phony too. I bet you he came up with fake questions and fake answers to these questions to get information out, maybe mixed in with real questions. But it certainly seems like you need all day to do this, which is why you're not doing anything else.
Right. So that first kind of purple line is a little bit thicker because these posts are all coming the 4th, the 6th, the 9th, the 11th, the 12th. Then you go the second purple line. You can see it says 6th question and answer session on 3/25, 7th on 3/27. Then There's a big gap, and we'll come back and talk about that. Big gap. And then the posts start again. 8th Q&A 411, 9th Q&A 413, 10th Q&A 414. Then we skip again to another non-Reddit posting date. All of these are non-Reddit posting dates. That just freaked me out personally as I was looking at this. The 11th Q&A 422, the 12th Q&A 428, and then the important update, we have an offer, but you still have time to bid on 513. Then the 515, and obviously my graph cuts off on June 7th, and 2 days later is the post, that final post that I read that talked about if you wanted to buy the domain site and so on and so forth. So this is how I kind of got weirded out today. April and May 2020. Sexton dies on 3/21. Forrest posts Willie is retarded. Ben, do you want to talk about that? What we think that means when Forrest posted in the scrapbook that Willie is retarded?
Well, the theme of Willie was he was slow, not doing what he was told. The theme of the posts from Jack seemed to be directed at Fenn at times, where he goes, "Fenn, I'm not getting it. I'm not taking it. This is a legal shit show. You wanted me to be a maverick and just say F the government. I don't have your lawyers." So it seemed like there were comments from the Condor that were not directed at anybody but Forrest Fenn. And then we get the searcher death in this time period where we believe the Condor has left the chest in its spot, even though he knows where it is. And then this searcher death happens. And then the very next day, Fenn puts out a scrapbook going, "Yo, you're being slow. You're not doing what you're told. Go get the damn chest like I told you. Now someone's died. And I'm going to double down, and I'm going to make this retarded comment, and people are going to look back on this and know exactly who I was talking to. The guy who wrote about Sarah Palin's child. He knows, and this is a call to action saying he knows who Jack Stoof is before they meet. I never met him, but I know he's a shy guy. How, Forrest, if you've never met the dude?"
So if you see Sexton dies on 5/21, I made a little red block on the 21st of April. Forrest posts Willie is retarded on 3/25. In yellow, I made a little yellow block. The Condor 2, if you were on the show yesterday, has these 5 comments on 3/24, all within 6 hours. Was it a searcher? How do we know if it was a searcher or not? People are trolling. So the Condor 2 was concerned that there was a death in the chase. And that they were finding out on 3/24, to the fact that they posted 5 times until they got the true media report from the Denver Post that it was in fact a searcher. And then if you go down underneath that to the darker blue, the Condor 2 does not post for 11 days after that, goes dark after they learned that Sexton died. So now we look at the auction website. The auction website posted on, I think that's supposed to be, 3/25 and 3/27. And then the auction website goes dark, and I believe that's actually for 13 days. I'll change that. Sorry, guys. I'll look again, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 13. So how interesting is that there's this overlap of both the Condor 2 going dark and the auction website going dark after the searcher death that the Condor 2, who we believe is Jack, found on 3/24. Go back and look at this graph again. That's that section in the middle that we look at in this time frame goes totally dark in here after the searcher death. I just thought that was very, very interesting comparison there. So this is it, suppositions and conclusions. It's easy for me to see how fully vested searchers wrote this off as a hoax when it first appeared. I get it. I get how many of you, because I came to this late in 2020, Ben in 2019, I just get how it would be very easy for people, really smart, really brilliant people to read the first posting and just say, this is BS and blow it off. So I'm not judging you. I know Ben's not judging you. We're not saying you're dumb if you think this is a hoax, and we hope you don't think we're dumb if we believe it wasn't a hoax. It was previously used website for chase information that Jack had used, and then it suddenly changed to an auction website, and it had to have those of you that were around a long time scratching your heads like, this is just bogus. So I get that. Forrest was dismissing it, saying the chest had not been moved from where he hid it, yet the auction website actually retorted that and said, how would he know? He has not visited the location and we have not contacted him to tell him we have it. After further investigating the postings, the finders, and I say finders because I don't believe, maybe Jack had a search partner, Ben and Capro did a great job to show Jack flying into Colorado Springs and potentially having somebody with him. But they clearly implore the potential buyer to engage an attorney for protection and to ensure an escrow process would be legal. And it could be of the buyer's potential choosing if accepted and vetted by the sellers. And sorry, I stink at parentheses and doing that stuff. So here, we'll fix that right now. And that the buyer would be protected with an attorney control until they confirmed that they were in possession of the chest. So I just ask, how is that a hoax? If you as the buyer can actually pick the escrow, control it with the advice of your attorney, how is that a hoax? I don't get it. Somebody would have to explain to me how having total control over where the money is going to be escrowed and being able to where it's going to be escrowed would be a hoax. Right. Next bullet point, as the post continued, it's clear to see the person making these posts is steeped in the chase, bringing up Preston, saying not far, but too far to walk, posting a lengthy video for us with a timestamp for an exact passage to watch, leaving the D out of the word knowledge, referring to Forrest with admiration, but also hinting to his fallibilities like the Condor 2 also did. Purposely using incorrect grammar, yet then typing very intellectual and complex sentences, similar to the intellect of the Condor 2. Choosing on April 11 to post a warning for winter safety, much like the Condor 2 began to do after 10/19. Picking and responding to certain questions to demonstrate a superior mind, Bitcoin and blockchain, Erwin Schrödinger, and quantum theory, the eerily timing of posts during the auction website not posting and when the Condor 2 does, and a break in posting for both the Condor 2 of 11 days and the auction website for 13 days after the sex and death. Last slide. I put this up yesterday. Ben and I changed a little when Ben talked about the VPN change, but if you're Jack and the Condor 2, we believe that the chest was found sometime between April through August and maybe replaced in October of 19, the last good weather week, so that nobody would really be going out and searching after that because snow would be on the ground. Or it could be that just the chest was there and the contents were kept. We don't know. But for the auction website, they're also saying that this chest was found in 2019. They're saying August of 2019. We know that the Condor 2 or Jack, from the research that Ben and Capro did, went to Santa Fe in April 2019. And we know from the auction website that the finders, in their first exuberance about this, went down to Santa Fe after it was found, but left because there were cameras and they didn't want to be identified. We know that Jack had Puerto Rican status application approval in January 2020. We know that this website came back to life. That's incorrect website domain purchase. Ben, I'll leave that up to Bavetta and you, and we can figure out what really happened with the domain. But we know that it came back to life, so to speak, in February 2020. We know that their Jack Condor 2 had infrequent postings after January 2020, and that's when the actual auction postings began. We know that Jack had infrequent posts looked to be exclusive on days, the Condor 2's posting on days that the auction website doesn't. And conversely, for the auction website people, they look to be posting exclusively on days that the Condor 2 doesn't post. We know that the Condor 2 went dark for 11 days after the sex and death, and we know that the auction website went dark for 13 days after the sex and death. We know that Jack Stufus told us that the chest was retrieved on June 5th and 6th of 2020. We know that the auction ended May 15th. We know that a statement was made on the auction website on June 9th, and we know it went bye-bye soon after that. And then Ben, to your credit, yesterday you said, we also saw on Reddit that Condor 2 went, uh-oh, I better start using a virtual private network, that's what VPN stands for, and make sure that nobody can trace this back to me, and then obviously later deleted everything. And then we know in a similar time and fashion that the website was taken down. So
Literally the same day.
Thank you very much, you guys. That's a 25 PowerPoint slides. I'm sweating. I'm exhausted.
Thank you, Faggot Jack.
But how cool to kind of go through this, and I'll do a stop sharing now. See if that works. So I can actually see you again. There you are. I don't know. None of us know. I'm not claiming to know. I just think, and yeah, I'm leading the witness and I'm building a case, obviously, but I could just as easily be convinced if someone came out with a true shred of evidence that all this is wrong. But I just found it incredibly interesting on some of these coincidences when we took kind of linear thinking of reading things to actually plotting them out horizontally and looking at when they happened. And looking at some of the similarities. And I think some of you, I don't know, I'll leave it up to you guys. I don't think the website's a hoax. That's when I went on Candy's show when she wanted to have the no conspiracy night and I got her all ginned up again. And then she found the Wyoming LLC for K-Pro Cow and they had 2 weeks of hell. But that's when I just said, you know, I've been looking into this and it just, I know everybody says this is a hoax and maybe it is, but and that's what kind of got me scratching the itch of doing what I did with the frequency analysis for Condor 2. Because I just believe Jack is such a smart guy. I mean, I have to compliment the guy. I do believe he's the retriever of the chest. One can argue if he's the finder. And I believe he's a damn smart man. Whether you think he's an opportunist, selfish, you know, I pretty much have an idea of what his disc profile is. Very low S, very high C, very high D, middle of the road I. You know, he was gaming the credit card point stuff before this. You know, he obviously is an opportunist and he wanted to win the treasure hunt and he was using everybody's solves and everybody's facts and wanted all digging gypsies information. And he was going to find
every word a credit card company has against its own self and manipulate that system. You don't think he manipulated the Chase system in terms of manipulating it in the way of getting the info, getting the facts he wanted. And then if he did recover it or purchase the spot, he's going to manipulate that information too to cover his ass. He's clever.
I can only, Bavetta's messaging me, but he said that site was registered on January 17th, 2020. Boom. There you go. So, I mean, my personal belief is it was found in 2019. Jack Stoof is obviously part of the find group or the finder. He wanted to potentially say, I don't want to use a big auction house and pay percentages. I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want to do all that. What would the smartest guy in the room, because I think I am, who's gamed all this credit card stuff, how would I get out of all this? I could actually sell the location, not the actual item itself. I could sell the location to someone, do it through a private attorney sale, and have the money be transferred directly to me through an escrow account. And bye-bye, Forrest Fenn BS, I'm out with my $2 million. Yeah. That would be really brilliant. That's my supposition. That's my conclusion for this hour with Packer Jack and Ben.
Thank you, Packer Jack.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Very good. Very good.
Thanks, man.
And again, I'll clip both of them out. Yesterday's one was like processing forever. I couldn't even touch it for a while. And then I just forgot. So I'll do both today or tonight. And then, yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Take care. Have a good night.
Yep.
See ya.
So that was informative. I love the fact I know numbers don't mean shit, but you know, if you didn't believe the story from the get-go, you're probably not going to believe it, and that's fine. But that chart really illuminated what kind of anybody who's been following this on our side of it, of just seeing all this info, it fits exactly with what we assumed was going on. So it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I don't know if Ashley's watching, but that's a signal that she can hop on now so we can do a little bit of Oak Island. I'm going to call her. Let's just call her live. She didn't pick up. Oh, there she is. Hey, boo. You want to do some Oak Island talk now?
Yeah, I got to get my notes. I was on the phone. Sorry.
I sent you a link. Do you want to do it in here? Or do you want to hop on? What are you going to do?
What's better? Want me to get on somewhere? I can figure it out. Let me get my notes.
All right.
I'll be right back.
Grab your grab your own screen though. Do you have the laptop?
Yeah, I can find it.
Okay. Oh, Adam, did you not look at the update that's scrolling right underneath? Don't be so close-minded about this damn show, Oak Island. I still like that. I like that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it though again. It's a lot of information, so I'll go back and watch that chunk again and see. Now I'm doing some fantasy lineups while we wait. Why not? You're a cynic, but I'll convince you when we're having drinks, man. Don't you worry. There's just stuff that doesn't even still come across when you stream and you're talking to a screen and names in the chat. Like when we have a conversation and I can really make some points and hear your points, but then try to answer those, maybe different. Let's just put Waddle in the MVP slot for shits and giggles. And then we'll put Lamar Jackson and Sammy Watkins and Duvernay. He's going to throw the ball around a little bit. And then, so we got Waddle. So we don't want any more Miami receivers. And maybe we want Gaskin. Ugh, I'm down to like no money left. 4,100 for one player. And then we'll just throw in Justin Tucker. Perfect. There's a lineup. One lineup left. We'll discuss over copious amounts of alcohol. Yes, sir. Copious amounts. I can't wait. Anybody brings shit to my alcohol imbibing, I will not talk to you. I go to Vegas to have fun, not to fight. Gotta go change dinners and make diapers. Citron and tonic. Yeah, I need some booze too, my friend. Shit. I don't think we have any. I don't think I've imbibed in a few days now. Do I dare throw like Sammy Watkins in the MVP slot? That would be not good. Justin Tucker in the MVP slot. That'd be weird. Why not? Boom. There, we got lineups. We're good to go. Where is Ashley? Should you know what I'll do? Let's see if we can get like a trailer or a preview of the last episode that was just on. Let's do that. New window. YouTube. Oak Island. Someone posted the full episode on YouTube. They're gonna get fucking slapped for that one, aren't they? Let's do the under 4-minute stuff. I like that. Okay, so here's a sneak peek for next week's episode. Ooh. Well, we should have a sneak peek for like this week, shouldn't we? Oh, screw it. Let's see a preview for next week's episode. Why not? It's from Someone's TV.
Very significant. A sneak peek of next week's episode of The Curse of Oak Island.
Looks like you got a nice fresh surface here. I do not see any manganese. That's great.
No manganese, so the iron looks great.
Pre 1840, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I found something really bright.
There we go.
Really great.
It's very bright.
Come on.
Yeah, there's a nice bright spot. Wow, this is really interesting.
It's kind of like Christmas morning, right? We're not there yet, but we certainly know there's packages under the tree. That piece, that little blob there is golden.
Yeah.
Gold on the steel. That's very encouraging. If it's accurate that the gold is on the metal and that there are just no natural sources, then I'd say we're closing in on the treasure. The Curse of Oak Island, new episode.
I was like, shitty from like someone's TV. They should have like more official shit, like History Channel or something. Come on, you guys. You think they'd have their shit together? Extras. I don't want extras. I want trailers or sneak peeks or something, man. It really stinks when they don't have like proper stuff going. Like, come on, what are you doing here? What's up, babe?
On my computer, but now I can't find my purse.
Can't find your purse. That?
That's my notes.
Ah, has your notes. That's good.
I'm coming. I'm going downstairs.
No worries, boo. Oh shit! Look at that live stream Oak Island. It's dope. God, no proper trailers or previews or anything. It's really lame. Meh. Ashley will be here any moment. Yeah, they still have that one, but that's it.
This season on the Curse of Oak Island.
We're back, Oak Island, old friend.
Oh, it's a toy!
Yes, that's the aha.
Yeah.
I still believe there's some answers in the swamp.
This path heads to the money pit.
Wow. These are indigenous artifacts.
Department of Culture and Heritage asked that we stop down
Immediately.
The more we cooperate, the more of our island we lose.
We're going to do what's right. We're going to continue to do what's right, but we have to look after our own rights, too.
Yeah.
We're going to go bigger.
Look at that.
Yeah, here she be. We're going to go harder. We're running out of time, and we got big work to do up there.
Maybe I get lucky, huh? I hope so.
For 227 years, people have sought a treasure in the money pit on Oak Island.
Whoa, look at that.
Perfect. Nobody really found any evidence of gold until now. So we have ancient Spanish gold. That's huge. It's empirical, hard evidence. Okay, let's get this done. Let's find it. Let's go. I want to find the answers.
I mean, look, no one blames the History Channel. No one's accusing History Channel of not marketing their shit well. That's not the Lagina's fault. What's up, babe?
Hi.
How are we doing?
Good.
Let me get rid of the echo stuff. Or do I have echo?
Am I too loud? You need to close the window, or are you fine?
No, you're fine.
Okay. So Oak Island episode 2.
What was it called? I don't know. Who cares?
Oh, these things.
Episode 2. The hunt continues. There you go.
Yeah. Let's talk about the money pit and the new borehole, right? That's what they were doing because they found the gold in the water. So now they know what area to look.
Right. So they found there's like a cluster of anybody who watched the show, like I guess 3 or 4 years ago would know that Charles Barkhouse was begging and screaming for them to pick a certain area, and they finally did after a few years, and they called it C1. And now as they've drilled around C1 because they found evidence there, the clusters had gold coming from the water, which they've determined now that wasn't a natural source. So there's gold creating a trace in the water, which they said is okay, that's coming from a substantial amount. It's not coming from nowhere, and it's not natural.
So the exciting thing was they found this strange piece that almost looked like cement, and then it had gold on it. It was like a weird thing. It like had some cement, and
it was metal. It had cement, and it had traces of gold, which is exactly how it was described in the first searchers who were digging. I can't remember. It was the McGinnis. It was the McGinnis
It was
crew,
in 1897.
1897, and they drilled in to what they assumed was cement, wood, and then a sheet of metal that they couldn't penetrate. And when their drill bit came out, it had traces of gold on it. And now, lo and behold, the Laginas have now recreated that.
Because they have that super, super cool XRF that they put that little piece in, and they figured out that it was gold, wood, and metal. I think there was traces of wood on that piece too. So the fact that it was gold, metal, wood, I mean, come on, that goes right back to what they were doing in 1897. Do you think they found that same spot?
I think they're at, well, the idea here is either there's like one main vault that had everything, or it's a giant vault that had like off-shooting chambers to it. And either way, they're either at the same spot that 1897 dig was at, or they found another chamber, which they would all be constructed in basically the same way. Wood, cement, and this thin sheet of metal that they're using. They've already found proof of, you know, how they would actually even construct this on site. You know, the pine tar kiln. Like there's proof of all this construction being done around what now they're finding underground. It's just they've done it in a slow way, and people don't like that. So it's whatever.
Large wooden box that was never recovered.
Say that again. You froze up on me.
Remember where they found the pieces of the ship? The southeast corner of the swamp. Yes. There's a large wooden box that was never recovered. They spoke about this large mystery box. Right. It sounded like just treasure hunting shit back in the day of like, oh yeah, I found this box. Oh, we can't find it now though. But trust me, it was there. I promise you. Yep. So I'm kind of interested. You're freezing up on me, Boo. Do you have like apps open or something on your phone? I'm not on my phone. I'm on my computer. You're on your computer? Hey. Yeah. Maybe it's just too many people on the Wi-Fi. Hold on. I turned off my Wi-Fi. Okay, I'll do mine. So Wi-Fi stuff triggers me. Correct. That's why it's so significant is what they did exactly what the 1800s group did, and they know there's a bunch of gold. Exactly. They found it. Look, if you didn't like the fact that they took 8 years worth of TV to get to this point, that's okay. You can skip it. You can now catch up now. What we're saying is they're finding real shit now. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that little piece they found with the wood, was that the first true gold that has been found by them? In the money pit, yeah. Yeah. Yep. And again, that's all you're going to find right now. They're putting in tiny little drill bits in because they think they're at the right spot. It's been a game of Battleship. Just think of it as that. It's been a game of Battleship. They've had a grid. They've been digging on the wrong end of the board, and the other player put all his pieces in one little corner, and they've just slowly made their way there. They've hit the battleship. Then they were retracing it, and then they've hit it again. So now they know where it is. It's just a matter of time. Yeah. You know what? I think there must be something that feels really good about hearing all of these stories about the people that came before you, and then searching and finding stuff that corroborates with what they were saying. That has to be spectacular, because prior to this, like you said, it's just old stories. It's just stories. It's just people saying, I think we found this. We may have found that. So I think it's really cool that they're finding stuff now. Packer Jack's going to do a PowerPoint on Samuel Ball. Samuel Ball needs more investigation. I think Samuel Ball is going to change some history books. What did he say? Former slave turned Oak Island cabbage farmer became one of the richest men in Canada. Well, yeah, I really believe that's true too. I think that's why he was there. That's why he bought so much land. And wasn't he paying? Didn't he go and pay with like Spanish coins? He ended up his Spanish coins, and then he ended up buying more parcels of land and kept looking, because this island, it turns out, was probably a central hub for Templar or pirate gold. And there was a shit ton just even hidden there by other people who probably like constructed shit there and know it's a secret island, blah, 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 that no one knows about. So they just kept hiding shit there. The stories are true with someone like Samuel Ball. Yeah. You know,
Hoof-Hearted says, just like most gold digs, typically more money goes into the ground than ever comes out.
Well, and that's where they're at right now.
Yes.
They are definitely in the red.
But, I think that many people here can relate to that excitement of finding something, no matter what the cost. And they're making history by doing this.
Right. They've already changed history. That's not good enough for people who think they're just faking this and trying to drag this along. They've already changed history. But, they're taking too long. How long did it take you to get Fenn's chest? I'm curious. Oh, you don't have it? Oh, okay. What else, Boo?
Child interruption. Okay. So the other thing I love with all of this testing is that they tested that wood. Greg Tester had the piece of wood, and
I will say people are sick and tired of them testing wood, but again, it's part of the fucking process. You have to.
It was in borehole D2, and it matches the 1-year-old sample found in CD 2.5. They date this pre-Columbian, 1488 to 1650.
Yeah. Right. Again,
Crazy.
nobody's on that island, supposedly.
The other thing, the one thing that kind of I shadowed over this entire episode that we just watched, where I can see in my mind red flags. That's what I think. This episode should have been called Red Flags, I think. Because yes, History Channel episode 2 is red flags, because that's all we saw were the red flags that they now have to put down and then have Laird check all of the areas before they can actually legally dig. So Rick is just pissed off that they have to go through all these extra steps, and it's so much work. Just jumping through hoops just to do what they were doing prior, and it's the most exciting time now. Like probably a few years ago, okay, fine, have someone check our thing. But now it's like we don't want to wait. We want to just find it and dig it up. And then when they were going to all their spots that they had marked, that Gary Drayton had marked, it was like there were so many nothing burgers. There was like crash and stuff, and I think that was really frustrating to them. So I felt like a overall feeling on the whole episode about just the problems that are to come with all of these new rules and regulations. Oh my gosh, I love the blacksmith. He's one of my favorites.
He really is. Take a look at it. Yes, this was made in 1547. It was made by a man named Jonathan Wentfield. He was a blacksmith himself. I know it because of the hand marking tool right here on the end of the thing right there. Like, he's so good. I love him.
I love him too. I love hearing him talk. So then they moved on to lot 15 and 16. And this is where Gary Drayton is doing all of his metal detecting. And that path between the swamp and the money pit is really what they're excavating. Don't you think that was kind of one of that huge stone path was one of the things that got people really excited and interested too, finding like that big?
The huge stone path is what has now changed the history books. The huge stone path also is what has gotten the government involved. And more regulations, more archaeologists on site, and it's even out of Laird's hands now. And so this is a double-edged sword. They were able to prove, okay, something of significance did happen here, despite what everyone wanted to say to the Lagina brothers. And now that they've proved it, the government wants to get its hand in it. And that's what's going on. And when the government wants to get its hand in it, it's not just a fucking TV show anymore, is it?
No, unfortunately. But, the only positive thing about that is I think what we talked about watching this show was things were getting done a lot quicker.
Yes, they have stuff on site now. They have a whole archaeological center on site. They don't have to wait for 4 weeks for testing. They can do it now on site. So some of this process does get sped up, but some of this process is getting slowed down. Eventually, push is going to come to shove here, and they're going to run out of stuff to test, and they're going to have a lot of ground to be still covering, and the government's going to be holding them back. I can see it coming right now. The only green zone they have where the government can't interfere is the area of the money pit they're digging at. Anywhere else in the island, it's gonna be rough. And by that fucking preview, it sounds like maybe even that gets changed.
Yep. So that path is a really cool thing, but also something that's just slowing them down. They found another nail, like a handmade nail or spike. I think that was one of Gary's finds.
Yeah, and that was like on their Twitter. On their Twitter they censored it. And they're like, "Ooh, what's he holding?" And I was like, "Oh, I know, but I'm not going to spoil because we already saw it." It was just
I think my prediction last week was that they were going to be finding weapons. Did I not say that?
Yeah. What was mine?
I don't know. I don't remember your predictions.
I thought you wrote it down. I thought I would tell you wrote down predictions.
Well, maybe I did. I don't know. But anyway, bug. Sorry, bug. I thought they were going to find weapons. I still think they're going to find fancy weapon, like something fancy and cool. But they did last week find a round shot or a stone shot.
Yeah, old school cannonball.
That's kind of cool.
That was dope. They found pieces of a leather boot heel and pieces of a leather glove. Do you think that the people left these items down there, or they died down there, or perhaps they were buried? It could be all of the above, to be honest. I mean, the leather boot heel. I don't know that someone would take their boots off after they're done with the day in construction. 100 feet in the ground. So a leather boot heel underground would probably indicate that there's a dead body, and lo and behold, they found 2 separate human bones underground. So I'm going to say that's probably from a dead person.
Well, the way I wear my boots, I think I have lost a couple of boot heels here and there at a nightclub.
Sure, and it could easily have happened on site while they're who knows, but we do know there are human bones down there, so we do know that there were humans buried under 150 or 125 feet in the ground. So, I mean, unless someone got their arm chopped off and their arm remained underground, I guess maybe that's what happened.
I'm still kind of trying to get my mind wrapped around the geographical layout of Oak Island and how everything is connected and where everything is. But when they found that round shot or that stone shot, I think that the comments were that it was possibly connected to the stone shot that was found at the swamp. Like, I was imagining and envisioning in my mind, like, the ships firing at each other. And that's why you have the stone shot, like, in different areas across
the
swamp. I don't know.
I'm trying to get like an enlarged version of this map.
Because where is the swamp compared to lot 15 and 16?
Oh, with the lot numbers? Crap. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
The swamp's here. The money pit's here. I thought where they were searching was still near the money pit. I thought they were near, like, here.
Yeah, it was close enough to the money pit that it might be connected.
It could have been. Actually, you know what? You know where they might have been, actually? Because I believe the money pit was to their southwest. They might have been on the lot they were on?
15 and 16.
Okay, hold on.
Give me a map with the lot numbers. And that round shot, you guys, that was like a surface find. That was like chilling. That was just like sitting on top of the ground.
Hey, Shiba. Okay. So lot 15, 16 is right here. Okay. So they were probably, okay, so they were right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because lot 15 and 16 is right here. So that is right here. So this is where they found that cannonball.
Mm-hmm. And that might correspond to the other round shot that they found at the swamp. We'll see. You know who else was back this week? Miriam. We didn't have her last week. Miriam, I missed her, the little archaeologist.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I missed Miriam. I like all of her facial expressions that she makes.
I'm jealous of any youth who gets to be on that island. I still consider myself a youth, but I'm older than she is. But just jealous.
Yeah,
God.
she's a baby.
I thought she's doing her like graduate's degree doing this or something. But the fact that she's still there, I'm like, shit. She's really got it in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she was on the show last week, so I was happy to have her back this week. It was just kind of cool. I love when she's like, "Let me take a look at what you have there, Rick," and then she looks at it and she's like, "Laird, can you come take a look at this?" It's funny. But they found the mystery wood piece in the southeast corner of the swamp.
Yeah, that thing was strange.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we can get that. I don't want to look for that with the screen up because God knows.
I'm gonna take the screen off and then look for it and then see if we can show people. Does anyone see that weird piece of
Mystery
wood?
wood piece, Oak Island. You know, the Reddit might have it actually.
That we're saying that's more proof of a ship wharf.
Yeah, there's no way that's gonna like show up on a Google image right now. I gotta go to Reddit, and usually the Reddit is just making fun of it, which is kind of funny in and of itself. The Oak Island Reddit, if you guys don't like Oak Island, the Oak Island Reddit is for you then, because the Oak Island Reddit likes to like make fun of Oak Island.
Minotaur, you think that the Lagina boy has a crush on Miriam? Okay, now I have to watch for this.
Oh yeah, no, he absolutely does.
Do you ship it? I ship it. I ship it.
Minotaur says that. Oh no, yeah, 100%.
I ship it.
100%. So does Rick.
Rick ships it.
Rick has like a, I don't know how to say this without sounding weird. He's got like a crush on her, but like he would never ever kind of crush. Does that make sense?
Well, I know someone. My grandma was just telling me a story yesterday about someone that knew this guy that was like 20 years younger than her, and she kept trying to set him up with her daughters, like her adult daughters, and he was like, no, I don't want your daughters. I want it. They're married now. He married her, but it's kind of opposite. But it's like I think Rick would be thinking, Miriam is smart, and he'd be happy that she was in the family, I guess. Did you find the picture of it?
No, I just found someone questioning the cannonball they found because it was so clean. And if it's a surface find, that's just because of rain. What?
And it was just on the surface too.
It was a surface find.
It was dropped there.
The reason it's a surface find is it was on property they had like never been able to like start really detecting before. It was the first time they've ever sweeped it, I think. Or there was a storm that came in and Gary Drayton like predicted that or something like that. The guy's smart, but
yeah, I remember them talking about the north of C1 wasn't even explored yet. How much of the island hasn't been explored yet? That's a question I would have.
This week on We Ain't Found Shit. Oh God. Hold on. What does he say? Gary Drayton in the motherfucking house. He's got Rick as a shovel man, so we know they're about to find something. Long story about how the evil Canadian government is trying to hold Gary back, but Gary ain't having that shit. Boom. Pull tab, baby. Boom. Bottom pocket find.
Bottom pocket.
If it only had the beer can attached to it still. What now? Another fucking ox shoe. An ox shoe, says our narrator an ox shoe, says our narrator as if it's a fucking surprise. That's the only fucking thing they find. Gary can't even fake excitement. This is funny. This is good.
You know what? We should read this after we watch, next week we should read some of these and then we'll have some stuff to talk about.
Marty and Alex are back on the island and Rick whips out his hunk of metal from the clusterfuck. Alex is looking serious this season. No lesser Frenetti to cockblock him this season. He is going to seal the deal with Miriam for sure. Oh my God, we were just talking about that. Oh my God, he looks like a man on a mission. That's funny. This is funny. There are geniuses on Reddit, I gotta say.
Packer Jack.
What?
Look at Packer Jack's comment.
They just redid the resort by Oak Island before you drive across, and it's not that expensive to stay there. Maybe an annual Bembury. Oh, I'm down.
I would love to go.
Maybe that's what we do next summer instead of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
To close it out, our faithful narrator is almost certain that treasure lays buried somewhere on Oak Island. Personally, I liked our narrator better in the Marvel movies, where he was doing his best Kit from Knight Rider impression. He does do a good Kit from Knight Rider impression without knowing it, I bet. Well, our annual weekly hoax, weekly roaster does not like that episode.
Well, I think that was kind of the entire episode. I thought it was a good one. Oh,
yeah, it's all right.
What are they teasing for next week? Did you already? You probably put that on when I was getting my computer set up.
Yeah, and it seems to just be government interference. So wahoo!
I mean, that's what they were kind of setting us up for, I think, last week. But that piece of wood was interesting. It had like a reminding me of like Mancala. You know, the holes in the wood board of Mancala. It was like carved in, Or like when you put a picture frame on and you slide it in the hole and like go like this with it. It's like
Oh yeah. No, totally. I'm
You know what
trying
I
to
mean?
see if they have. I'm trying to see if they have a picture of it, but usually they will. There's got to be somebody talking about this specific one.
Oh my gosh, they blurred it. It's funny. They blew up the island a million times. They did. They used all that dynamite and stuff, and they actually really destroyed a lot of stuff.
They really did. All right. Well, have we said enough on Oak Island for this week?
I think so. I think we kind of went over everything. We'll have more next week.
I'm going to be complaining next week. I already know it from the government shit. So I already know I'm going to hate next week's episode.
Especially if
my
that's
prediction is I hate it. On a scale of 1 to 10, my prediction is I hate it with a 10.
Okay, so let's write that down.
Yeah, write it down.
Ben's prediction is that he's going to hate it with a 10.
Yeah, with a 10.
And my prediction is I'm going to like it with a 4.
I'll still like it with a 7, though.
Oh, you can hate it with a 10 and like it with a 7? That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal from my son JJ when he talks about math, and I'm gonna say, what's with these math guys? Why do they do this? How does this make sense? Right? Math. How can you hate something?
12 stuff. Why do you need it?
Yeah.
If it's 1 times 12 is 12, then what are we even talking about?
Yeah. Who makes these rules up?
All right. Well, good night. The sun is setting. We're gonna go have fun now. Bye-bye.
Bye.